Discord. All right. Don't do that. Welcome back to the Zombie Eaters podcast.
Welcome back, guys.
I think that we're good to go this time. I think that I have everything.
Are you sure?
It's supposed to. We need someone else to help. You know, Jerry with the research, we got him, but we also need, I think, like an engineer. Like a you know.
Can't Jerry be like all-in-one?
No, that's like another reason why I wanted you to be on the show with me, because you're like smart with all that shit, and I'm not. Then you're gonna leave, and I'm gonna end up with some fucking dolt. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
Selfish asshole. All right. Speaking of engineering and everything, yeah, Zach's leaving. For those of you just joining us.
Yeah, I was actually, I know that we've been talking about the website and stuff and who we're going to have host and all this and all that.
Yeah.
And I was using WordPress the other day.
Oh, WordPress.
I have another thing going on that I have a commitment of building the website. And I was thinking of you and how that's coming along with you.
With WordPress?
With WordPress, yeah.
Oh, I don't use WordPress anymore.
I thought you bought...
I did.
The subscription for WordPress.
I got my money back.
How did that come to be?
I told them that I'd rather go with a company that's from Israel because I trust them more.
Okay, but you already had... You had already bought it and everything.
Yeah, but I got my money back.
So you weren't satisfied?
Well, I mean, they had to guide me every step of the way. Like I bought it, and then they were like, "Oh, well, it was something I was confused about that I didn't know how to do," and I was like, "Well, I don't know how to do that." And they're like, "Oh, well, you can hire a professional. It would have been like $1,000." I'm like, "Why don't you just tell me I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna quit. Like I'll just go somewhere else."
I'm gonna quit.
So they're like, so I had to basically bully them every step of the way to tell me what to do. So I basically got the website built for free, just paying the one-time fee for the year.
What were you confused about?
Everything. I never built a website before.
So before we go any further, WordPress is pretty difficult to use.
Right.
I spent all day learning how to do it. And
I got mine built in an hour because I kept telling them. I was like, well, you gotta tell me what to do here because I don't know how to do it. So why would I stay here? Why would I pay to get something that I don't know how to do? I'm not gonna pay $300 to figure out that I don't know how to do this.
But it's that's what WordPress is.
Yeah, but I strong-armed them into telling me what to do.
So you bullied them.
Yeah.
And then you also told me that you got your money back.
I did.
So you bullied them, made them do all these things for you.
All the work.
Yeah, all the work.
Yeah.
For free.
Yep.
And then you still had them refund you your money.
Well, they're anti-Semites.
What does that have to do with building a website?
I don't want a bunch of Nazis, outlining and blueprinting my website. They're probably putting some propaganda.
I think you're paranoid.
I'm not paranoid.
You're
I just feel much more comfortable with Wix because it's based in Israel.
Okay.
I can trust them.
Yeah.
They may not like Gentiles, but I'm no Gentile.
Okay.
And plus everything else with them is included for half the price.
Yeah.
And the website looks great. The one on WordPress looked like a Hitler's wet dream. It looked kind of shit, very, a lot of say Hitler was had his own dance.
Uh-huh.
Like a Gundam style type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's more
But a website.
Upper body, throwing the arms.
What is it? Terrence and Philip from South Park.
They're from Canada.
Yeah, but they do a dance like that.
Kind of like that. Yeah, it's very much like a propaganda dance.
Yeah.
I have a mission, But with Wix, they were just their selling point. I was like, tell me a little bit about your company. We're based out of Israel. I'm like, sold.
That quick?
That quick.
You knew
zero nothing about it. No research. But I did go. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. That's what I said on the phone, and I went and fucking strong on my money back from WordPress. Well, then once that was done,
you gave WordPress the double whammy.
I did.
Wow.
I did. I don't want to be with a company that's subservient.
Yeah.
I basically was do this or I'm leaving, and they were like, okay. But with Wix though, they're very Israeli commando. They're like, you figure it out, but everything's right there. Listen, I'm like, okay, just follow the steps. They're like the way that they have it set up. It's that they're not going to do it for you, but it's all very clearly
really simple
described. Yes, it's all laid out.
Yeah, WordPress is not
something that I can understand.
It's not user friendly.
I'm not an IT guy. You ever talk to an IT person on the phone?
Yeah, they just tell you.
It's so fucking awkward.
It's very.
They have no
It's a struggle for me because
skills.
they're just like, hey, turn it off and turn it back on every time, and I'm just like, I fucking did that.
Yeah, like I'm not an idiot.
That's the first thing I do. That's
yeah.
the first thing you do, and they still are like, well, can you do it again? And
Right.
you're like, fuck you,
Right.
pretty much.
It's like if you're fighting with your girlfriend, like you have to think of situations in the world that like that's not the answer for everything. I can't be like, hey, will you stop for like a half hour, then we'll talk about it again. That's like turning a girlfriend on and off, and they don't like that. So there's like things that IT people I don't think understand about the world because their whole world is like Mountain Dew, Doritos, and like, you know, writing code or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't live in that world. So you have to just for a minute pretend that I'm not a person that like we're adjusting to different realities than they are.
Yeah.
Because this is their whole life.
Yeah, just
You know, and the social skills are so poor
Yeah.
that like every time they ask you a question, every time you're like communicating with them, it's like you're talking to a person that's following like a script almost.
Yeah.
Well, this is what we need to do, but it's all like
Very like logical.
yeah. It's like, listen, man, like if this was what the solution was and I didn't know that, like I would not still be on the phone with you. Like I'd be, oh, okay, that sounds logical, but it's not. Like it's something different. You're gonna have to think like outside of that IT sphere you're in, you know?
Yeah.
And it's tough sometimes too because like they just keep pounding in like what like every like thing it could be. Like they'll like get all like the common knowledge stuff.
Yeah.
And then once you get past that, you get to the point where they're asking you questions. You're like, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is just be like, just skip all the bullshit and just be like,
Right.
just fucking remote into my computer and fix it.
But you also have to remember that they also have to follow like protocol and do like all the troubleshooting. Like, especially if you're something's under warranty. Like I had to talk to Hewlett Packard yesterday. My printer just out of nowhere stopped working. Wouldn't feed paper correctly. Never had a problem with it.
The feed rollers.
I bought, and the thing is, never had a problem with it. Never had an issue with the paper feeder. That night, I printed like 4 things for the meeting on Saturday, and that day during the day. That evening, I ordered 5 reams of paper. Didn't even open up the box. Didn't put any new paper in it. Same paper, same positioning, same everything.
Yeah.
This stopped working.
How long have you had it?
Like 8 months. And so I called HP, or I chatted HP. Then I decided I had to call. And I'm talking to the guy, and I'm just like literally an hour went by. And I'm like, dude, like, we haven't gotten anywhere. He's like, oh, well, what, he kept asking me, like, software questions about my computer. I'm like, dude, my computer has nothing to do with it. The paper isn't feeding correctly. It has nothing to do with it. I'm like, it's not that. There isn't an option on my computer that says, do you want this not to print? Or do you want the paper not to feed the way it's supposed to? I'm like, if that was an option and I could unclick it, then yeah, maybe it's a software problem. But I'm like, dude, it's a hardware problem. It's the printer.
You know that's not how software works, right?
I don't fucking know, dude. But I knew that my computer had nothing to do with the paper jam.
It could.
It didn't.
It could.
Why? Tell me why.
Because the computer communicates with the printer.
I wasn't using the computer. I was just using the button, like I always do.
Oh, just like a copy?
Yes. You hit the
okay.
button. That's it.
Yeah.
My computer was closed. It wasn't even on.
Oh, okay. I see.
You know? And the guy just would not accept that. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean, what do I mean? I'm like, you know how the printers have buttons on them, smart guy? He's like, yeah. That's what I was doing.
Just clicking the buttons.
Yeah.
So what was it?
I hung up on him. I couldn't take it.
So your printer still broke?
Oh, I'm going to destroy it with a hammer later.
Well, it might just be the feed rollers.
It cost me $80. I'm just going to get a new one. I get a student discount.
I worked for a copier company.
Why can't I just kill the fucking thing with a bat?
I mean,
Why can't I ever just do destructive things without people questioning my motives?
Let's destroy it on the podcast.
Fine.
Okay.
Great. But after that's done, I'm going to be like, you said you work for a copier company. Where's my discount printer? That's what I'm going to say.
I'm not a salesperson.
Yeah, but you work there.
So?
Dude, you got away with walking out with your dick in your hand to that place for like 6 months. You can get me a discount on a fucking printer.
Probably could.
I'm probably just going to buy, I think I used to have a Epson printer and it worked fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you know, it was older. It was like a couple years old and it was like time for it to go.
Yeah.
And through
like
college,
Syracuse
Syracuse has a deal with HP. So like that printer that I got, I paid like $80 for it, but it was originally like $160. I get like a huge discount through school.
Oh, well then just fucking destroy it.
Yeah. And get a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And destroy that one, that's fucking up.
Yeah.
I could buy 3 printers from HP through my school and still it'd be less than some of the top of the line ones. So I'd rather just get one, destroy it, and then get another. Yeah.
And
there's no limit on it. I could buy 10 printers from them and get this discount.
Yeah.
And then resell them. Ooh.
Oh,
I never thought about that. Make money off these people.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how WordPress is going.
Wow.
So Wix is the new company.
Okay.
You know, I'd like to get a website built for this, but I need pictures, I need all this stuff. So
yeah. Need a logo.
But I got like the basic like scheme of it down because I learned how to do it basically through building the one for Skyline. So now with Wix, I know how to build a good looking website on Wix, which I will show you.
Yeah, you have to show it to me.
All right.
Send me the link.
So moving on from WordPress, just like I did, and yeah, dude, they really did. Like I was like
kind of feel bad.
stern with them, but I wasn't like swearing at him or being like rude. I was just like, I don't know how to do it, so I'm gonna leave.
It's like a series of unfortunate events for WordPress.
I was really making them feel like, you know, like because I'm like, dude, I'm not paying money to like find out that I don't know how to do this. Like, and I'm not paying thousands of dollars to have someone do it for me. So why? I'm like, it doesn't make sense for me to be here. Do you see what I'm saying? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, so what do I do here? And basically, like after going through all that, there was still like a bunch of other back end stuff I had to do, and I looked up Wix and like, boom, yeah, Israel. I'm like, fucking Mazel Tov. I'm like, later WordPress. I want my money back. And they're like, dude, are you serious? Like after everything you fucking made us do, I'm like, don't be such a fucking pushover.
Yeah.
Say no.
Yeah.
What are you gonna lose on $300? Come on.